Shane, he's good. He's got his foot in every door that has anything to do with hunting. He's been videoing, he's been killing deer out in other states.
Me and Shane are probably the most experienced hunters in deer camp, and we normally get the biggest deer out of the group.
But the thing I can't stand about Shane is he always tries to tell me what I'm doing wrong, even if I'm doing something right.
I try to help these guys, teach them a few things, like how to skin a deer.
Can do something my way. If he'll show me something, and I'll try to do it in a way that I know how to do it. But if it isn't exactly like he wants it, it's wrong.
I mean, I killed my first deer when I was 3. I think I probably know what I'm doing.
I mean, I can do the exact same thing he does, but if I don't do it the way he holds it, or if I don't do it this way, it's wrong.
He's always got his own way how to do things.
I know a little bit.
3 hours later, it looks like a freaking hibachi master done got hold of the deer.
Jason Miller, he's pretty cool. I haven't known him very long, but since we joined this camp, we've gotten pretty close.
You know, one thing about Josh, the kid ain't got no game.
I love going out to the shows with him. It's awesome. I always get backstage. We get special treatment. Sometimes we get free drinks. I love it.
He likes coming to my shows, but he expects VIP treatment.
Have you ever seen Garth Brooks run around the stage doing jumping jacks and backflips? That's pretty much Jason Miller.
I don't run around doing all these crazy, idiotic moves that you see a lot of these singers do.
He runs around the stage doing all these moves.
I very seldom ever leave the spot I'm standing in.
He's got this one move called the chainsaw. You ought to see him crank that thing. I think he ripped his pants last time he did it.
And when I come off a stage, I'm pretty much the same person I was when I walked on.
When he gets on stage, he's a totally different person. But when he gets off stage, you think the dude was like Forrest Gump.
He's almost like he's got a split personality. He's one way on stage and one way off stage.
I don't try to be somebody I'm not. I'm the same every day.
But once he loses that mic and gets off that stage, the game is gone.
Them tight pants he wears, I can't understand how that works. I'm afraid one day he's going to do one of them Luke Bryan hip thrust moves and that front button on his pants is going to fly off and put somebody's eye out.
One thing that really gets under my skin is when I come into a deer camp and there's mud everywhere or boots thrown everywhere. I mean, I didn't pay good money to clean house 24/7 while everybody else is out in the woods hunting. That ain't gonna happen. And look, I mean, look at this porch. There's stuff laying everywhere. I gotta clean this place up. Let me tell y'all about old Cuz. First of all, he's a great guy, don't get me wrong. Avid lover of raccoons.
But anytime we see a raccoon, he freaks out.
Cuz he's got a problem with coons. I don't know if he was bitten by one that had rabies when he was younger or whatnot, but
He don't like to talk about it much, but I think when he was a little kid, he was attacked by raccoons.
The only time you ever hear Cuz say anything or make a peep if somebody mentions food.
I would like to call myself a pretty healthy eater.
To be honest, he scares the crap out of me.
he kind of freaks me out sometimes. I can't really put a finger on it. He's just kind of scary. You know, he had every kind of gun you could think of, whatever caliber, military rifles.
People say that I scare them because of how many weapons I have, but I don't understand why people don't like weapons or guns.
Him and Shane will get together and they'll pull these jokes.
I always like pulling pranks on Josh because he is scared of everything.
I'm not scared of much.
One time, me and Cuz hid out in the wood for hours, let him get all settled in his deer stand, and we started howling like wolves right under him. You should have seen him running back to the deer camp.
They think I'm scared of like the dark and all this other stuff. I'm really scared of them. They freak me out. There's no limit to what they'll do for a prank.
All I gotta say is, if you pull a prank on me, just always know this. I don't get even. I get ahead.
I consider myself an elder. I seem to know a lot about deer and hunting and all. You know, really and truly any type of hunting. I mean, whatever you want to know, you just let me know.
Now Chase, he'd probably be the last person I ask for hunting advice.
I know what big bucks are. When I see them, you know, I put them down.
He really doesn't know nothing about big deer.
You know, Shane, me and him, we kind of tend to talk smack back and forth. He's always grinding me about the deer that I shoot and all, but
I've known Chase the longest. Me and him grew up together. I personally stuck my neck out for him one time when we were hunting at Shane's place.
Shane's still a little upset at me about the last deer that I shot at deer camp.
I brought Chase out here, showed him pictures of this deer that was coming out in the food plot. I had him patterned to a T.
We get back to the camp. Oh man, he was this big. Y'all gonna see me act like a 3-year-old when we find this deer.
What does he do? He goes and shoots a baby buck.
I don't know what he's talking about, man. That thing was freaking huge.
Everything I said about him went out the window.
You know, Josh, pretty much the way I'd sum him up is a hummingbird on Adderall. Kid's crazy.
Josh is always late. It don't matter if you tell him to meet you at 12 o'clock for lunch. He gonna be there at 1 o'clock.
He's always on everyone's last nerve with being late.
He would be late for his own funeral. I promise you.
What's that about? At the end of the day, we may fight a lot, we may argue a lot, we may have a lot of disagreements, but when we get back to the camp, we leave it in the woods, we have a lot of good stories to tell, we have a good time, and it's a pretty good place to be.